I saw that ad online. You need some help with a video or something?
Yeah, I just need some simple help. Just looking around the set, setting things up for the next scene. Pretty simple stuff.
What's the video about?
Today's pretty simple, just putting a new grip on an existing spear gun.
Oh, really? I don't think you need to do that video, actually. I actually can help assemble things for you in midair. I know. You see those frames right there? Can you grab those?
You mean these?
Yeah, I think I have a lens that fits that. 1 sec, I'll be right back. Okay, I got them. I got these lenses, and I think they'll fit. Just throw the frames in the air, and I'll throw these lenses in the air, and once they meet in the air, they'll be put together.
Here we go. Just throw it up, right? Okay, all right. Whoa, okay.
Let's try another one. Oh, let's try this pole spear.
Just give me the hand, give me the hand. This handle? The one, okay, here you go.
Okay,
here we go.
Whoa. Oh, actually, I forgot. Spear tip for the pole spear. Here you go.
I'll leave. I'll see you later. Nice meeting you. Welcome back to another episode of Dive Spear Eat. Today we are going to be swapping out the handle of this Pathos Sniper Roller 85. This has been my spear gun for quite some time now, and we'll be swapping out this universal grip that comes stock with this gun with a D'Angelo 2 handle by Pathos. This handle is much more ergonomic, and for those of you that have graced your hands with using one of these while you're diving, you know why you like these or similar designs to these. It just fits in the hand a lot better. It's only for right-handers, but it just fits on the palm much nicer. There's more contact area, and it seems like you can get a more linear push from your palm, but that's just subjective for me. So a really nice grip. A dive buddy of mine gifted this a while ago, and it's time to finally install it, and I'm gonna show you how. Let's get started. So here you need your actual handle. So this is the D'Angelo 2 handle. What you'll need is a hammer. It's just a regular old hammer here. If you have a rubber mallet, I would recommend that over a standard hammer like this, but that's all I got. And I have this Allen key that seems to be working the best. I've tried some other methods, but you'll see in a bit. So pretty much any size that fits, that is smaller than the diameter of the pin in the handle here. So this is a size 4, but essentially something smaller. And these are optional, but I have some latex gloves, and this one makes more sense a little bit. Some people use electrical tape. What this will be used for is for the inside of the handle. There's a little bit of wiggle room, and just using some sort of tape to wrap it around, or in this case, I'm gonna be cutting some latex glove, sticking it in there so there's less wiggle room between the handle and the actual inner frame of the spear gun. And then just some scissors just to cut up the latex glove. But again, these are optional. Some spear shops recommend some electrical tape is fine, but again, it's just to get rid of the play inside of the handle between the frame of the gun and the actual handle. So you don't have to use that. You could just do a simple hammer, get rid of the pin, stick it back in, call it a day, but this is what we're gonna be using today. Alrighty, so the first thing we're gonna need is the spear gun here. The handle, our Allen key, and our hammer, so pretty much everything. But first thing we wanna do is release the current stock handle from the spear gun. And how we're gonna do this is removing the center pin here. Right there. And one very important note is that this pin, there's one side that's a little bit more concave, and then there's another side that's a little bit more convex. So essentially, where we want to be tapping this out from is the concave side. And why this is important is because the convex sides, once I pull the pin out, I'll show you, but there's little dimples toward the convex side. So the one that bumped up a little bit more. So I believe tapping it from there, you're pretty much gonna, it's not a screw, you're not gonna thread it, but it's not ideal. It's gonna cause more resistance going through. So let's go ahead and do that. So one very important thing, especially if you're gonna keep the reel on the gun, when you're pretty much gonna line up the Allen key here and then tap it with a hammer. But if you do that, you're putting a lot of pressure on this reel piece here. So what I do is actually raise, kind of angle this gun at a 45-degree angle. I'm grabbing the other side. I'm putting it on my knee. So essentially all the pressure is on the butt and the handle. Because the reel's screwed in, I don't want unnecessary pressure on this reel. So I have it at a slight angle so the pin can go all the way through. And then what I'm gonna do is line up the Allen key right in the center. And I'm gonna start hammering. What you wanna do, from what I've learned, is kind of thicker, I guess like more significant blows versus like small taps. So here we go. So once it's halfway out, pull it to the side. You can see the pin is starting to come out here, right there. Pin's starting to come out. See the other side. So at this point, it doesn't need too much pressure to come out. So now that the pin is halfway out, I don't need too much pressure again to release this pin. So I'm gonna rest it on the top side down on the table so there's no excessive pressure on the reel or any other components. I'm gonna stick my Allen key in through where I started. With one hand, I'm gonna try to hold the handle and also hold the Allen key in place. Then from here, I'm gonna strike it with a hammer. And there it goes. And there is that pin that just came out. It's gonna be really tough to see on camera, but it looks about equal length or diameter all the way through, but one side is definitely convex here and then concave on the bottom. Really tough to see on the camera, but really look for that when you're pulling these out. There are little imperfections or deliberate dimples on one side. Usually from mine, it was the side that was kind of domed or convex right there. If you can see that, there's like little dimples throughout this side. So the idea was if I push it from this side, I won't be forcing these dimples through most of the frame. So that was the idea, but here's the pin ready to go. And all we need to do now is release the handle. So to release the handle should be pretty simple. This one's been out once before, but when I initially took it out, it was a little more stubborn to come out. This one comes out pretty easily. Just release, and there we are, our universal handle. If you need a little persuasion, I suggest kind of shake it side to side, and then you can wiggle it out with a little bit of elbow grease, but it is out. This is how the handle looks without, or the gun looks without a handle attached. So it's very simple, straight piece with a hole in it. Nothing too extravagant, but let's test fit our D'Angelo 2 handle on there. So really simply, easily match it up. Boom, pins in, and we are ready to go. Check that out. Very nice. All right, while we have these out, let's do a quick comparison. So this is our universal. This on my right is the D'Angelo 2. Check that out right there. So this guy, D'Angelo 2, universal. Here's the front of both. You could definitely see the D'Angelo is a little thicker. And you see that from the kind of palm bump here. Give you a little bit more support from the side. There, you can see this portion here. This is where your pinky will go around. Give it a little bit more support. Here's the back. We see the biggest difference in my opinion. The back on the universal here, some riveting or some slots, assuming for more grip, but pretty standard. This guy, a lot fatter. Fit your hands a little bit better. Here's the flip side. I think you see a huge difference here. So this guy, bottom, you could just see Universal, D'Angelo, right there, right-handed. Here's the bottom profile. Here's how it fits in the hand. You can see this piece here kind of supports the bottom. And then if you swap out to the Universal, check out that. So this D'Angelo 2 is just so much more comfortable, obviously only for right-handers, sorry, left-handers. So we are done with the hammer and the Allen key for now, and now we're gonna go to our optional step, me using a latex glove. And for other folks out there, if you just wanna use electrical tape, that is totally fine. The purpose of this is to grab a piece and actually kind of wrap it over like this. So when I put it on, it hopefully fills in any sort of gaps between the actual frame of the gun to the handle. So here we have the handle. I have my latex glove over this. All I'm gonna do is cut off any excess. There's no real science to this that I'm doing, but just enough where I can cover the bottom at least. And hopefully as it gets stretched out toward the top, and when I put the handle in, it'll fill in the gaps. So now with our latex cut, what we're gonna do, again, if you don't wanna use this or not this at all, you can put some electrical tape here, maybe a layer or two, kind of modulate it to your fitting so you can get your grip in there nice and snug. So I have part of that latex glove there. I'm gonna try to center that as best as I can. And now I'm gonna put on the grip. It's on there really snug. And those of you wondering, yeah, what if the latex glove blocks that hole like it just did? What do? Use that Allen key, stick it in there, make sure it's clear. Now that our handle's in place, we can go ahead and get ready to put our pin in. And again, just a reminder, there is a concave side and a convex. Just be careful with yours. So always the convex side, we're gonna be hitting in, and then concave side we push out. And the reason for that again is that there's some dimpling or imperfections on the convex side, and we'd want it to reduce imperfections, have to travel within the handle to reduce any sort of unnecessary resistance. All right, so there's a different challenge when it comes to using the D'Angelo 2 versus the Universal, because the Universal flat on both sides, I guess it doesn't really matter which side you put the pin. But on this case, I want to be hitting or pushing in the pin where it is flattest. So here, where it's a little bit more kind of at an angle, I don't want to be pushing in from there. I'm going to be pushing in from this side where it's a little flatter here. So I'm going to start my pin. Again, the side you're pushing in is the concave side. This is convex, pointing up. So pretty much popping out more up. So I'm gonna push it in as hard as I can with my fingers. And then I'm gonna use the hammer. Remember to hold up the spear gun at an angle, so pretty much not resting it on the reel or any other more delicate components. And we are going to strike this as square as possible. And there she is. The pin's a little scraped up from the metal, but it looks like it's still intact. There is our final grip. It is in. You can see parts of the latex glove in there. That means it probably did its job by sealing it in. And here's our final product. This is the updated Pathos Sniper Roller 85 that I use. Now with a D'Angelo 2 handle, super nice, comfortable grip, ergonomic grip compared to our universal grip that we had before. This is no more, and now I will be using this. Super excited to use it. I hope this was helpful to you all. Thanks for watching, sticking around all the way at the end. Appreciate the support as always. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content, and I will see you on the next video.